For today's video, I am going to be reviewing the Pretty Litter cat litter. I've been curious about this litter for quite some time. I've been intrigued by silica gel cat litter, so I was very excited to try out this specific cat litter. Huge shout out and thank you to Pretty Litter for sponsoring this video. As always, opinions are always honest and our own, and we only work with brands whose products we genuinely love. So let's go ahead and get right into the review, and also make sure to keep on watching to the end and to check the description box below because I will have a discount code for you guys to save some money if you are interested in trying out Pretty Litter. So let's go ahead and get right into the review. So first off, what is kind of the difference about Pretty Litter in comparison to other cat litters? This is supposed to be an odor busting and also health monitoring kitty litters, and I feel like the main feature is the fact that it is health monitoring. Also, you're probably going to be able to hear jingling in the background, and that is my kitten. We just got a kitten. So my cat and my kitten have been running around and playing with each other. So they're kind of in and out of this room right now. So if you hear a bit of chaos in the background, that is why. If you're wondering how exactly Pretty Litter is health monitoring, it is health monitoring because they use color changing technology, which helps to take the guesswork out of cat care so that you can have peace of mind knowing about your cat's health. Some of the standout features of this cat litter are the fact that it is supposed to help with trapping odor. It uses silica gel crystals, which absorbs the moisture through millions of micropores, locking in odor. So I thought that was a very cool thing about silica gel litter, and the fact that it really helps you absorb the odor. Also, something really interesting in comparison to like a clay litter is that the silica gel litter, it actually helps you absorb urine, and all you have to do is stir the litter and that is it, and it helps to absorb it, and it helps to absorb the odor as well. So I feel like it really helps to keep the litter smelling fresh and keep it fresh longer as comparison to just a regular traditional clay litter. Another standout feature about Pretty Litter is how lightweight it is. So it's actually 80% more lightweight than traditional clay litters, which I thought was really interesting. And if you have purchased clay litter before, you know how heavy those bags of litter can be, and it is just not always fun hauling those giant bags of clay litter around. But these bags are just so much more lightweight, and you're still getting a really good amount of litter. And I'll talk more about the amount of litter that you get and all that stuff, but it is more lightweight. Pretty Litter is also very convenient because it is a subscription, so it just gets delivered directly to your door, so you don't have to go hauling it from the store, which I mean, I guess you can kind of get that with any cat litter nowadays. You can get it delivered to your door. But on their website, you can decide how often you want to get the bags. You can also determine how many cats you have, and it'll recommend how many bags you should get. Super easy subscription setup on their website. And then again, of course, the monitoring health. That is the main standout feature for Pretty Litter. The color changing technology helps to show abnormal alkalinity, acidity, and the presence of blood. So it really helps you to monitor your cat's health, which I think is really great. And I feel like it can just help you to kind of detect problems before they become bigger problems, if that makes sense. And it also helps to prevent costly vet visits. So I really like the health monitoring aspect of this litter. But then of course we've got to talk about what exactly do the colors mean. So there can be 4 different colors, but something I do want to know is that it is possible that the color of the litter can change, but actually still nothing be wrong with your cat. So don't just immediately freak out if you do notice a color change with the litter. So they do recommend that if there is a color change with the litter and it persists for more than 24 to 48 hours, then you would want to take your cat to the vet to see if there's something going on. But getting into the colors, if it is dark yellow or olive green, that indicates cat urine within the normal range. If it is blue, that may indicate that there are certain types of urinary tract infections or increased risk of stone formation. If it's orange, that may indicate metabolic acidosis or kidney tubular acidosis. And if it is red, that may indicate bladder crystals, feline lower urinary tract issues, or certain types of kidney disease. So again, if it does change color, don't just immediately be super scared. Obviously, I feel like if it's orange or red, I feel like those ones are the more alarming ones. Blue is definitely still one though to keep your eye on, because that could mean that there could be more of a possibility for your cat to develop crystals, and that's no fun for your cat. So just keep an eye on it. And if it stays that color for more than 24 to 48 hours, then definitely take your cat to the vet. But that is just something to know about this litter, about the color changing aspect of it. So then let's talk about the litter types that they have. They do have different types of litters. So their original version is a non-clumping, and they have an unscented version of that, and they also have a scented version of that, and that scent is called Lotus Flower. I personally prefer to get unscented cat litters just because I feel like scented cat litters aren't really necessary for your cat as far as like their health. I feel like it's better to use an unscented one. However, I understand that some people like scented litters because they believe that that can help with a little bit of more odor control. So if that's something that's really important to you, then maybe you would like the scented version, but I personally like to get the unscented version. Now they also do have a clumping litter, and that one just comes in unscented. So that is an option as well if you don't want a non-clumping litter. But getting into the original non-clumping litter, that is the one that I'm gonna be showing you in today's video. So again, the non-clumping litter, it helps to absorb the pee. All you have to do is stir the litter and then just scoop the poop. So it's super simple as far as what to do with it. Obviously a clumping litter, that is going to clump like a regular clumping litter does, and the clumping litter is said to have more odor control. Other than non-clumping and clumping, they're pretty similar as far as how they work. So then I want to go over some commonly asked questions so that if you have any questions, hopefully this video is going to answer that for you. So the first question is, how long does a bag of Pretty Litter last? So each bag is designed to last a month for one medium-sized cat in an average size litter box. And after you pour your Pretty Litter into your litter box, it's going to kind of depend on the size of your litter box, but you do want to make sure that you get 2 inches of depth as far as how much you want to fill your litter box. Another question is, how do I use Pretty Litter? So like I just mentioned, so you're just going to pour an entire bag of Pretty Litter into your litter box, and again, you do want to make sure that you get 2 inches depth. Another question is, will my cat have any problems using Pretty Litter? So they say that most cats really kind of take to Pretty Litter very quickly, and they just start using it very quickly. Like I had mentioned at the beginning of this video, we just got a kitten. She was just using a non-clumping clay litter. I mixed a little bit of this litter into her other litter to see if she would kind of get used to it, and she started using it right away. But then I also filled another litter box just with only the Pretty Litter, and she started using it right away. So it really didn't take any adjustment at all for our kitten. Maybe that will be different depending on the cat. But as far as just switching over to Pretty Litter, you can always just transition slowly to a new litter. But in general, cats seem to be able to switch to it pretty easily and not have any issues with that. On their website, they do have some tips to help with transitioning your cat to a different litter. They say try taking one poop and one urine clump from the old litter, and you can put it into the new Pretty Litter fill, and then your cat can kind of recognize that familiar smell and know that that is their bathroom. Another method that they mentioned would be to fill your litter box with 75% of the Pretty Litter and then add 25% of the old litter to the top, and then your cat can kind of mix it in themselves, and then you can eventually use 100% of Pretty Litter next time that you replace the litter. So those are some ways that you can help to transition your cat's litter to Pretty Litter. So then a common question when it comes to health monitoring is, how does that work if you have multiple cats in your house? So what they say to do for that is that if you notice that there is a color change in the litter, they recommend that you have an extra box and extra bags of Pretty Litter on hand, so that way you can isolate their bathrooms and see which cat may be having an issue. So that's what you can do if you do notice a color change and you do have multiple cats. Another question that I was very curious about is, will Pretty Litter work in my self-cleaning automatic litter box? So yes, it does. We do have an automatic litter box for our adult cat, so I was very curious about that. Because Pretty Litter has this sand-like texture, it works really great with any automatic or self-cleaning litter box. They say that if your litter box already works well with other crystal litters, then it will work great with Pretty Litter. Then let's get into the ingredients a little bit more. So what are the ingredients of a Pretty Litter? So Pretty Litter is made of the super absorbent silica gel. Again, it is combined with a proprietary health indicating formula to help monitor your cat's urine for acidity acidity and alkalinity levels outside of the average range, and it can also help to monitor the presence of blood. So another common question is Pretty Litter safe? Yes, it is. On their website, they mention that Pretty Litter is manufactured in one of the world's largest and most trusted kitty litter plants, sourcing its own silica microgels using carefully selected mineral sources. In addition, their manufacturing facility uses the highest quality control standards. So now let's talk about what I like about Pretty Litter. The main aspect that I like about this is the health monitoring aspect. I think it's great to have a litter that can help you stay on top of potential health issues, to just keep your cat nice and healthy, and also, you know, prevent any major health issues. And that way, if you do notice something is wrong, then you can take your cat to the vet quickly. I also do think that it is odor controlling. So like I mentioned, the silica gel does help to absorb urine. I do find that it helps with odor control. And then when it comes to the poop, of course you do have to scoop the poop if you're using a regular litter box. But the silica gel kind of helps to dry out the poop, so it helps with the odor control. And I actually find that this original version actually makes it easier if you are somebody who does not have an automatic litter box. The original Pretty Litter, because it is non-clumping, I feel like it makes it less work because you don't have to scoop the pee. The pee isn't going to clump. All you have to do is stir the litter up and it just absorbs the pee. And yeah, so I feel like it makes a little less work for you because you don't have to scoop the pee as well. And then another thing that I want to mention is that this is called Pretty Litter, but it actually is the prettiest litter that I've ever seen. Not that litter is pretty, but it just looks really nice. It kind of has this like pinkish, whitish, orangish look to it, and it just looks a lot cleaner than just like gray clay litter. It just looks nicer. So then let's talk about price point. So depending on if you're getting their original litter or their clumping litter, there are different prices depending on that, but again, I do have a discount where you guys can get 20% off, so definitely make sure to check out the description below for that discount. But for the original version, the non-clumping litter, that retails for $24. If you do want to get their clumping litter, then that retails for $29.99. And again, I do have 20% off, so make sure to check the description box below so you can get a discount. But I also want to mention that on their website, you can choose a plan based on how many cats that you have. So I thought that that was a really nice feature. So it helps to recommend how many bags you need. And then of course, just like as with any subscription, you can choose how often you want to receive the product. So, but for this, it is great because it is also going to make a recommendation to you based on how many cats that you have. So I like that as well. Their original litter, it comes with 6 pounds, and you might think like, oh, this is a smaller bag than your traditional clay litter. But again, it's a lot lighter weight, but this is still supposed to last you a month, depending on if you're just using a regular litter box or an automatic litter box. That can also vary a little bit as well, but it is supposed to last you a whole month with just the one bag. So I thought that's great. And again, you know, that can vary as well depending on how many cats that you have. But I feel like when it comes to an automatic litter box, which is what we use for my adult cat, I feel like that just helps litter to last even longer. So that's something that I like as well. Overall, I am very impressed with Pretty Litter. I really like this. I definitely want to continue using this. I plan to continue using this. It's really nice cat litter. It looks nice, looks better than other litters in my opinion. And I feel like it just does a great job. It's less work if you have a traditional litter box, at least if you're getting their original version, because again, you don't have to scoop both the urine and the poop. But I also like that they have both a non-clumping version and a clumping version so that you can choose what you like the best. So I like that they have both options. Overall, do I think that Pretty Litter is worth it? Yes, I'd say it is going to be especially worth it for anybody who really just wants to stay on top of their cat's health. I feel like the main standout thing about Pretty Litter is the fact that it is health monitoring. I think that's really important. A lot of just regular clay litters, you're not going to be able to monitor your cat's health. And I just think that's super important to be able to keep track of your cat's health. So I really like that feature about it, and I think a lot of other people will like that feature about it too. And also, I just find that it's very pleasant to use. I like how it looks in the litter box better, and I just like how simple it is to use, and I feel like the litter just stays really nice and fresh, and it just stays more fresh than traditional clay litter does, as well as the odor control. So overall, I'm impressed with it. I think it's a great cat litter. So if any of the things that I mentioned about this cat litter sound good to you, sound like something that you would like, sound like it would make your life easier when it comes to your cat's litter, then definitely check out Pretty Litter. So if you are interested in giving Pretty Litter a try, again, I do have a discount where you guys can get 20% off. So make sure to check out the description box below for that. I will have Pretty Litter linked in the description box below along with the discount code. So make sure to check out the description box below. If you have any questions about Pretty Litter that I did not answer in today's video, definitely let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to help answer any questions that you may have. But I really hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up. If you want to see even more cat content from us in the future, I would absolutely love it if you would go ahead and subscribe to our channel. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you tune in for our next video.